Hi guys, welcome to the video. So today we'll continue with the map creation process, and we will focus on the sixth step, and we'll try to make all the entities. So as you can see, we have the main towns here, so definitely we'll improve that, but I will also put here all those axes, which will be some neutral enemies. Also here will be some camp that we can capture, some defense here from the player number 3 near the bridge and all those kinds of stuff, even some treasures here. So let's get into it. I will put my map concept on my second monitor. Yeah, you can definitely open it from the description as well. And let's start. So first I would like to focus on the player number 1, which will be the actual player. So definitely we want to have some peasants from the beginning, so make sure you are choosing the player 1 here. Go to units, empire units peasant, and let's just place some of them here. I would say it's okay to put one for each mine, and we could also maybe put like two of them on wood. Of course, it depends how easy you want the mission to be, or maybe how fast you want the beginning to be. But I would like to make it a little bit more, a little bit bigger, yeah, not just only town hall. So maybe let's build one farm here, and let's find this farm, and let's move it a little bit. Yeah, I'm holding control and left mouse button and moving my mouse, so it's rotating. You can also see down here in this field, let's say, you will see facing and numbers, so you can always face all units, for example, the same degrees or something, so always can look there if you want. So let's make it like 0, and we can place it here. And we'll also place a blacksmith, so we can carry all those resources to blacksmith and don't have to go all the way to this town hall. So this seems like a pretty interesting beginning point. Let's maybe rotate them. It doesn't matter, but I usually like to rotate all villagers towards the resources. So if you want, you can do that as well. And I don't think I will really place any buildings here that would like produce units or something, but maybe we can place a scout tower here. That might be interesting. And of course, maybe we can also use some units, I mean like soldiers, but I haven't really thought about the story yet, because there will be mainly the part 8, I would say. So maybe we'll also have like a hero or something. Maybe I will place a captain, but those soldiers will be a little bit more complicated, so I won't do it yet. We are just doing the practical thing here, which is of course villagers and buildings. So let's move. Now we will take care of this place where I want to have the player free to have some defense. So let's actually use the watchtower here, and I would actually just build two of them in like similar positions. Of course, cannot go here because the river is like cut here, so I'll have to place it here, and it would look really weird if this one was moved. So let's make it like this. And now I will probably make some more soldiers here. Again, I don't know exactly the faction, but I mean the player 3 will probably just be an empire, so maybe we can use some pikemen here. That might look good, or even knights, but yeah, I think pikemen might be okay, or maybe even swordsmen. So let's actually do something like 6 pikemen and 6 swordsmen. As I said, we can change it later, but right now it seems okay. Again, I will just check it by holding control and left mouse button, and it will just appear that it's facing number 0. I'm not moving my mouse right now, just pressing the button, and it will show me that it's facing 0. And since I have no rotate here, that means all the units are facing the same. So that's this place done. Right now let's move to number 2 here. So I will change player to 2, go to beast, and here in buildings we will see what we can use here. So first I would like to stables, maybe we can put them in the back here. I will adjust those wrong places later. First let's build the concept, so maybe like 2 arenas might be here, and also a weapon mastery near trees, so we can actually harvest some wood, and actually maybe closer to the front, and we can also make a goblin hut. Maybe I won't make him create any goblin hunters, but we can adjust it later, as I mentioned. Right now it's about the look. uh, I don't think he really needs harpies, so let's not make harpy nest. Definitely I want him to have some totems, so maybe like around the edge here that might be a good idea. Maybe even like here, and one more totem. Let's build it like here or something. So yeah, this looks pretty okay. Also, the dark altar definitely needs that building. That's like mandatory for beasts. And if we decide to make him some lizard units, we can also make a lizard fortress. Actually, I will just keep probably this player a normal beast, so don't really need to change anything. Also, let's make a lizard keep back here so it doesn't get destroyed that fast. And also at least one bestiary, maybe we can place it a little bit in the back. Henge is another building that is not producing units, but I would like to put it somewhere here. Mouth of Hell definitely not necessary. I don't want to play like give him any demons. And Revive Altar also don't need, but definitely we want to give him some Manticoras. So let's place the Manticore probably somewhere around here. And of course we have still a lot of space for all the units. Right now I'll just use the smooth tool to remove all those bad areas, so like this. And now let's place some minions and also borons. So first I'll start with borons. I like to rotate them towards the stables if I am giving it to someone from the beginning. So I mean it depends how many of them I want to give him, but it doesn't really matter. I will be configuring the computer, so he doesn't need population. So it's just for the look. Actually, it doesn't look too good, so I will maybe use the rotate, and let's just place some random borons here. I think that will look even better. Maybe like this. Rotate him manually a little bit, and yeah, this looks much better, I would say. Uh, Now let's use the minions, so no rotate of course, and I would say again one for each mine should be enough. So like this, and I mean just one for trees should be also good. Because I don't want him to harvest the whole forest before we even get here. And as I said, he won't need population and he won't need resources either. This is all for the looks. Of course, you can also make it that he's actually creating, so he needs population, he needs resources, he has some recruit times, he needs those buildings and everything. But I like to create it my way, that I will show you in the future when we will get to the trigger editor, which will be probably in the next video already. So now let's get to player 3. This will be probably the hardest one because we need to create a whole town, and of course we don't have too many tools for that. So first let's just start with some basic buildings. So maybe we can also give him some farms, maybe like here. So I mean this doesn't look too good, so let's just make it rotate and place some random random farms here, like this. Don't want to place too many of them. If I want it to be objective to destroy all buildings, then it wouldn't be too good of an idea to make too many of them. Then we can create some barracks, so maybe a good idea to make something like this. And yeah, I think this should be okay. Blacksmith won't be for wood here, but we can definitely also make it somewhere. And we'll definitely want some guard towers. So since you can pass through those forests, I would actually say it's a good idea to place some towers here as well. We can actually do it like here, like this, behind each of those wall towers. So that might look pretty good. Let's actually maybe move it a little bit. I mean, here it doesn't really fit. I just created a weird wall here. But maybe like this. I think that looks pretty decent. And maybe we can also make like a second part of this town with some more towers. So if we create it like this, we can probably make something similar. Yeah, and I think this looks pretty good. Maybe even move this. I see this bird here that is distracting me, so let's move him as well. And let's move it back a little bit. So there is like an entrance, but there is still enough space for all those barracks to produce some units. This looks okay, I would say. I could also create another wall here, but I'm not sure. Let's try it actually. So we'll need to make something like this. And another one here. I mean, I'm not too convinced about this if it looks good. I don't really like it, so let's delete it and continue without it. Again, since we decided to make some lizards here, I will probably also make elves here and Valkyries, all those kinds of stuff. So let's not complicate it too much. I'll probably only adjust units for my faction or something, and they can also have some other units, but they don't have to be adjusted in any way because I'll just spawn them here or just put them here from the beginning. And let's just place like 3 of those centuries here, and also 1 Valkyrie beacon, and also some gnomes here. So like 3 of those workshops should be okay, and at least 1 alchemist. And we'll also need a temple, I think. Yeah, I also mentioned that I would like to put a cathedral here, but that might be just a neutral cathedral, we'll see. Let's just place the temple here, and also Circle of Ancients that can be next to it, and Obsidian Tower maybe as well somewhere around here or in the back. I mean, doesn't really matter. Probably won't need to use it too much. So yeah, let's go back to neutral buildings, and here in city I will actually swap to neutral, and let's use cathedral here. I will probably place it somewhere maybe closer to the temple, so maybe like this. I think that might look pretty okay. And we can also use some city houses, so maybe like here we might have some houses. So let's use all those different kinds of houses so it looks like diversified, let's say. And of course those are just neutral buildings, so player cannot even attack them. They are just there. Maybe we can also place like 2 more down here so it looks like the city really continues to the right side. And here we'll have some space for our units, or I mean the computer units. So this is this whole town, so let's just save the game and let's swap to neutral hostile. Or actually, before that, I will go back to neutral passive and create the camp that I want to have here. So let's open mercenaries. So what can we use here? Definitely don't want to add any hell forges here, because you can create some hell dwarves there. That would look really weird here. Crypt again, pretty weird. So we have like either tavern or a mercenary camp. So let's actually use the mercenary camp. You can create 3 heroes there, or not like heroes, but a little bit stronger units, let's say. And let's place it right here. And we will also add some units to protect it, but first we need to swap to neutral hostile. And right now actually we need to figure out how we want to set up the whole team of this map or this mission. So of course the camp will be probably defended by some human likes, so maybe like rogues or thugs, those kinds of stuff. Thug is actually a stealth unit, so you have to keep that in mind. But if we put some rogues and red jacks here, it should be pretty okay. So let's place like 2 rogues here and maybe 2 red jacks and one thug. I think that looks kinda okay. Actually, I cannot rotate the thug. That looks pretty weird, but seems like the thug is unrotatable for some reason. Actually, as you can see, the number is being adjusted here, but he's not rotating, so I don't know if it's some kind of a mistake. I never encountered it, but okay, I think we'll just have to keep him like this, or we can change the whole theme of this and just turn all of them towards the camp, so they are like talking about something or that. But since I cannot rotate him, I think it would look pretty stupid if he was the only one looking the other direction. So let's just make it like this. I think that will be okay as well. Now we will go to the swamp. Here I would like to add some trolls, or not trolls probably. I will just add some goblins. Let's place a goblin shaman here and some goblin lancers around. I will place. I will use the rotate rotate function and just add some of those pikemans around. And I will also swap to neutral passive. And in the buildings, there is a really interesting thing that I would like to use. I just don't remember where exactly it is. Yeah, this is it. So boiling kettle, that's really good looking with this theme. So let's just make it like this, and then we will adjust it. I would also like to have some treasure here, but I will probably make it so the Goblin Shaman actually drops some treasure on this location. So we'll do that with Trigger Editor. Of course, you can just place the treasure right here, but someone might just run here, maybe in stealth or something, pick it up and run away, which is something I don't want to happen. So let's just make it later. So let's go back to neutral hostile and what other camps are supposed to be here. Something is supposed to be around here, which I think I will make like maybe a small, not a village, but like a farm or something. So actually let's start with neutral passive, and here you have something called farmyard, which is really good. You can you can actually adjust a lot of things here, but first we will start with some wheat. So let's actually press F6 again, maybe create like area like this. I think that will look pretty okay. And also maybe we can put some grapes here, some pumpkins. Yeah, you can just adjust it as you want. and maybe also some potatoes. And now also some strawberries might be also good. And now we will use the wood fence, and we will actually go around, or yeah, I have the rotate function, so let's disable it. And let's actually make it like this. Here you have the gate, so gate is something I want to have in the middle, but of course first we need to somehow connect it, which is not really working the way I expected it to work, but we can still make it work like this. And yeah, I mean, we'll still be able to run through it, so it should be okay. And we can also place like a Majoristo here, and maybe a well. Yeah, so just play with it, choose whatever you want, and create some nice scenery. So it looks nice, and I mean, this is only about the looks. Doesn't really matter what I place here, of course. Also, the wood of pile might looks good, so let's place it here, and Tresto next to it, of course. Maybe those rocks are not too looking good here, so let's move them. And I would actually consider one thing here, and that is to put some peasants here, maybe like uh, 3 peasants, and they will be actually captured by some enemies here, and if you defeat them, the peasants will join you, so you can get three peasants for free, basically. And since it's so close to your town, you can just go there immediately and get it. And if you get it later, you can still use them for like an expansion or something, so it will be useful anyways. So let's just figure out what we want to add there as enemies, because since they are like taking them captured, probably can't put any animals here or something, so let's just go back to human likes. And yeah, maybe we can place a Garen here, so let's swap to neutral hostile, and he might be like holding them there, and maybe he will have some members of his gang, so maybe some rebels just, yeah, so let's put some of them here. All those different types, yeah, those units are super weak, so we can place multiple of them here, and it will still be pretty easy to defeat. And yeah, I think this looks pretty dope, so let's keep it like this. Of course, save again, and that's almost everything on the surface. There is one more camp, and that's something that's supposed to be protecting this entrance, so you cannot just walk down there and capture the expansion. It will still, I mean, if you look at the concept art, it will still be quite difficult because you have to go over the bridge, then defeat those enemies, then there is another camp, and then the expansion is also defended, so it's almost harder than just conquer one of those towns. But of course the enemies here won't be so strong. I actually want to make this like a forest of ghosts or something. As you can see, I use all those dead trees here when we were creating the landscape, so we will also add some webs here, maybe some spiders later on. But right now let's just make some ghosts. So we'll go to undead here, and you can choose the ghost. The ghost and also deep elf spirits have the special ability that they are taking only 10% from physical damage, so that will be also a pretty interesting fact that the player will need to consider and make some units to counter it. But of course, right now we don't have to worry about that. Let's just place like 3 or 4 ghosts here, maybe some deep elf spirits, so it's not all the same, so like 3 of them. And we can also go through this. There is also the phantom warrior. I think that will also look pretty good. maybe one horror. I think he has like an aura or something. Same thing applies to the Shadow Knight, and we can also maybe add like 2 Phantom Knights. Yeah, again, this will be quite protected area, but if you make a big army, you will just walk over it, no problem. I probably won't place any Lich Mages here, it will be too strong, but maybe a Phantom Mages, 2 Phantom Mages and like 3 Ghost Mages, that might be quite okay. So maybe like this. I think the area is quite well protected. Of course, right now it doesn't look too good, but maybe we'll decrease the light a little bit, make something with that later. Also, let's go to the underground. Here I want to have 2 camps, so first we'll be defending this mine, or I mean expansion, and then there will be a lot of treasures in this area with some more enemies. So first I'll probably just go down here and make it really simple. Let's just add some cave beetles here. So we will add the brute scrapper, which is the strongest one, like this. Then 2 more scrappers and also some young scrappers. We can rotate them at like 5 of them here, like this. So that will be pretty simple to defeat. Of course, first you need to get through this area, and then here we'll have something stronger. So let's actually take a look what we can use. We can use gargoyles. There are 2 of them, but I think they are totally the same, so let's just choose the first one. So let's place 2 gargoyles here, and I would also like to use cave fishers. So let's place male and then female. The female is like 10 times stronger here, so it's like 3000 HP or something. So yeah, 3000. So it will be quite hard to conquer this, but there will be some juicy treasures, let's say. So yeah, that's probably all for this. And actually we can just straight up swap to neutral passive and go for those treasures. So first you need to go to neutral, open treasures, and here you have some options. So in campaign you have some weird stones and keys. You don't really want to use that because you would need to program it, and it's not really usable here. Yeah, you can use it to like open a gate or something if you set it up right, but we won't use it here. Then you can have some healing runes. You just walk over them and it will heal like 90 HP to your units or something. So that's actually something that I might place like here, maybe near this tree. There might be like 2 runes, maybe also like one here and one here, so you can just go here and pick up those runes. And then we have resources. So obviously you can just make a wood pile, you pick it up, you get some wood. Probably not the thing that I want to put here, but we can definitely place some treasures here. So we have 2 chests here. Let's just compare them so we can see. Here you have 125 gold and some gems, and here you have a little bit less. So adjust the values anyways. So let's just take this chest. Let's place it here, and let's add like I would say 400 gold, 200 wood and 300 gems. So we have some really good resources from it. We can also add some dwarf treasures around. Of course not the same ones, but yeah, there are like those 5 types, so let's use all of them. That's going to only like 50 gold, so this is 250 more gold. And also we can use the gold statue, which is a little bit too much, so let's just reduce it to like 300. Also we can add some bonus gems, so maybe like 2 piles, maybe not each 500, but only like I don't know, 200. And I think that will be pretty cool. So you can get a pretty good amount of resources here. And also we can add some more items here. So we have items tab here. You have some healing potions, dust, which is really useful. So let's maybe take the healing dust. This gives you 300 HP to all of our units in the small circle. Again, press F6 and choose some nice area for it. So it's easy to pick up, but doesn't interfere with the fight. And I don't know, I think that's enough for this area. Maybe we can also give something here, but there is already the expansion, so we don't want to like make it too broken. But we can maybe choose the Great Ring of Health. They will give you like 350 HP, I believe, and just place it here. And also, I think the Greater Ring of Mana doesn't really work, so let's just use normal Ring of Mana. I don't really remember the values, but it should be okay. So you can get 2 rings here, also pretty nice and useful. Here I don't really know yet what we will do. As I said, I will probably place some spiders in all those forests, and maybe there will be like a big spider that will drop the orb of poison that will give you 20 more poison damage to one unit. So maybe something like that, but again I will do it as it drops it, so we will do that with the trigger editor. Here I wanted to add something, but as I said it will drop as well. But here you will get those peasants, so nothing to add here as well, and here you have mercenary camp. So I don't think we really need to put anything more anywhere like protected, but for example this area is really open and nothing is really happening here, so we might also just take like a healing potion that gives like 250 HP and maybe like put it right here, maybe one more with 100 HP. So you can actually pick something up here. Even though there are no camps, I might still put some wild animals here that will attack you, for example wolves and bears. So it will still not be like free to pick up, but it won't be too difficult, let's say. Also, as I see, I forgot to place some peasants here, so let's fix it. Maybe since it's like a bigger town, I can use 2 peasants for each of those piles. So again, actually we can just move them like this to 135. Oh, sorry, not 135 to 90 degrees. So like this. And yeah, there is no wood harvesting, so he doesn't need any more peasants. And right now, yeah, we can actually maybe go for those other units, but I might actually just keep it for another video since this video is already over half an hour. So let's just keep it like this. I mentioned that we will probably go to trigger editor next time, but I think we will still need to work on this a little bit. So I will just add some of those other animals in the next video. So some wolves, spiders and bears. And also we will probably figure out what units we want to use for each player. So we'll just add some defending armies here. Also maybe change some names of units, some stats, and figure out what we want to start with. So all those kinds of stuff will be done in the next video, and after that we'll probably finally move to the trigger editor. And also we cannot forget that we still didn't work on the lights yet. Yeah, I was promising that in the first video or something and still didn't change it. So after maybe in the next video, in the end, we'll probably change the light in the cave, so it actually looks like a cave and not just a surface with different textures. So that's the plan, and take care, guys.